Well, I decided to wardrobe change a little and put my glasses on for date number 10. So this guy is called Richie Not So Rich. Okay, because this guy, I forget what site we met on. I don't even remember. But then we added each other on social media, and I realized that we have a mutual friend in common who just happens to be somebody in my family. And I'm like, excuse me, like, knock, knock, knock. Like, how do you know this person, you know? And just so happens that they work together. And I was like, oh, okay. So, that's awesome. Like, anyway, so he was just like going on and on about how, he loves this family member of mine. Like, they have a great time together and, all this stuff. And they have pictures of him and everything, so that's kind of how it all like kind of started or whatever. And then my cousin was like, kept messaging me and saying, like, don't do this. Like, he wouldn't be good for the family. He was like, I'm just like looking out for you. And I was like, I mean, what's so bad about it or whatever. And like, he couldn't really like pinpoint one thing or whatever. But anyway, he was like just being like, trying to protect me as a family member. And I like really appreciated that. I ended up going out with the guy anyway. We went to a really nice winery, and that's what I mean when I talk about like the Richie part, because everything he talked about was like, my this was this much money, my this was this much money, and he didn't even really do it to like boast. I don't think it was just like to impress, and those things don't impress me, so it didn't matter, whatever. But I still went out with him, so we went to this nice winery, and I'll be honest, like, one of the best meals I've ever had. Great wine, and we actually had a really good time. We really did. And so then, like, I don't know, after that, like, we went out another time to a different restaurant, and the whole entire time it was really uncomfortable for me, because first of all, they sat us like this close, no lie, to the next couple or family that was next to us, and we're like, can we like move? So we get moved, and then we get our food, and I don't complain about food ever, but it was horrible. And so like I had to tell him about that. Well, then like he just kept like talking about how like the whole time I just felt like he was like trying to get this meal like for free. And I was like, okay, like it's not that big of a deal, like, whatever. And then it turns out that he had a gift card. And I don't know about y'all out there, but I just think that's a little like tacky to do on a date. I don't like, don't use your gift card, like, or if you do, don't tell me about it. Like, just put it in the thing and just go on with it or whatever. So like that kind of like, just put me in a different position and like turned me off a little bit, because I was like, what, why are you doing that? So anyway, nothing, like, whatever, we like went our separate ways or whatever, and we still have like contact to the day. And actually I had seen him one more time after that. We went to the same winery. We didn't eat dinner that time. We just did some wine tasting, and went to this little like club, kind of dance club next door, and danced the night away. And his cousin ended up showing up, and whatever. Like, we hung out, and it was a good time. It just wasn't gonna go anywhere, and I think we kind of both knew that. But I do have to tell this story, because at one of these times we went out, I was at his house before, and I have this, my Fitbit on, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know, I was talking about something about my heart rate, I can't remember, but then like he just like randomly like starts kissing my neck, and I'm like, okay, and he was like, is your heart rate going up? And I'm like, okay, really, like, sit the fuck down. Like, we're not doing that right now. Like, you're creeping me out. That's weird. Don't do that. Don't ever do that to a female again. If I can give you advice, don't fucking do that. It was like so weird because we had already talked about, like, we were pretty much already like just friends, and like then he like took it to that level, and I was like, no, like, we are not doing that. And also, I know he likes wine a lot, and so I had been somewhere on just like a weekend trip or whatever, and I was like, oh hey, like, I'll pick you up some wine or whatever, and so I did, and then when I got to his house that night, whatever, we were just gonna hang out and eat dinner or whatever. He was like, wrote me a check. I didn't freeze. I was just like, what, And it's all funny now. I mean, really, it wasn't that serious, but I was like